There was a moment early in the week that he didn't even know if he wanted to play. And then there was a moment on Sunday where he had a 2-shot lead and it looked like he was going to Kashada and going to celebrate his birthday for the 3rd year in a row in Kashada.
Sometimes it's golf, it's a sport, it's how you have to overcome those moments.
There's always that thought of seeing yourself winning and then seeing what would happen after you win, but my main focus was just in the present moment. I had my mind focused at what I was doing in the moment and the task at hand.
Since 2021, we've played in the Last Chance Regional Qualifier here at Mission Inn in Orlando. We've won it every year. The history with the Nota Begay isn't just that it's a fun tournament that we put on our schedule. The history with the Nota Begay is that we plan to dominate the qualifier and we plan to hold that trophy in the final trophy ceremony at the end of the week.
I've been here just over a month now.
Yeah, I joined the Ledbetter Academy 5.5 years ago, and 5.5 years ago in one day, I've been trying to get Lawrence to join the team. He's really approaching them with a, let me let you learn from the experiences that I had, and he's finding ways to change the approach to junior development because he feels like if that approach had been different for him, he may have made it.
So if you think about for me, it's just making sure that we remind them every day of how lucky they are to be here and to try and keep them as motivated as possible. Strike was good. Nice little shape to it. That was very good. And what was running through your mind there as a feel?
Just fun from the inside.
Perfect.
And then doing a swivel.
Perfect.
Yeah, but
Yep.
When we bring a new coach in, there's criteria and there's expectations. And the reason why we brought Lawrence in is because of his passion, his structure, his organization, and his discipline. The reality is you must be a transformational leader. You must do the things that you ask your athletes to do. Lawrence is always prepared, he's motivated, he's encouraging, but he also is very diligent in the way that he reflects and prepares for the next session.
Then you build your stance, and then we build the grip. One look, and go. Grip up. I've been here just over a month now from the UK, doing a lot of online stuff and doing a lot of traveling with students, that kind of thing on tour. And the move over, I mean, coming to headquarters is like a dream come true. It's what we all aspire to do as Ledbetter coaches. So it was very rewarding getting that opportunity to come over. You happy with that? Fantastic. So something off the tee to help you shallow out a little bit.
yeah,
Simple cue.
Lawrence was there for 2 of the Augusta Women's Amateurs, and he's seen it from a different perspective than maybe I saw it from at the Masters. Yet what's so cool about the experience for both of us is that we were there with players we developed from a junior into being on the grounds at Augusta, and there's nothing greater.
Well, I think first of all, it's good to establish expectations for starters. So with my group especially, it's just making them understand that, with some of the pros that I work with, out of 32 weeks in the year, they're only going to play their best golf for 3 or 4. And in those 3 or 4 is probably when they're going to make the most money, it's probably when they're going to win. The rest of the time during that season, they're just basically trying to stay afloat and they're sticking to their process. But the main thing is getting the kids to understand that, everyone's going to play bad, but it's your attitude to playing bad that really does separate you from everybody else.
I think you put certain events in your calendar and you circle them and you know that's when you want athletes to be prepared. The history behind the event, the fact that we've had players on the Golf Channel for the last 3 years, we don't have to say anything to the athletes. They know they want to compete. They know they want to perform, right? Kaden has done very well in that qualifier multiple times. Diego's qualified. Alejandra's already actually in because she already won a qualifier. So we already have some athletes in the event. And it would be my expectation that when we roll up to Kashada, there's going to be a team that's there to dominate again.
Florida Last Chance Regional Final. First on the tee, we have Diego Alvarez Perez.
I mean, the first tee always like nervous because it's a qualifier. Either you make it or you don't.
There was a moment early in the week that he didn't even know if he wanted to play.
My second semester as a junior and my summer, I wasn't really feeling comfortable with how I was putting, especially for birdie putts and all that. So I felt that I needed a change. I played 2 tournaments like the first month in the academy and I really didn't feel comfortable at all in the putting green. So I spoke to my coach and I told him that I needed a change. So I talked to Ben as well and we just said, let's try claw for the first time in my life. And I really liked it. I felt like I had 23 putts one day.
He obviously made the changes to his putting, so he had this newfound confidence on the putting green. And for 35 holes, he put himself in a position to get the job done.
Saturday night, I was looking at the leaderboard a lot, just trying to see like where my mistakes were. I also looked at my stats in the night. I saw that putting was my strength that day, so I was just trying to keep it like that for Sunday. But then, I mean, Sunday just had 2 bad swings.
On Sunday, he bogeys 4, birdies 5, bogeys 6, and it's like he's trying to claw his way back. He's trying to find a way to lead this golf tournament. Flushes it on 8, just hit an incredible golf shot, makes birdie on 8, makes birdie on 9, doesn't make birdie on 10, an amazing save on 11, and then he's just fighting, keeping that 2-shot lead. It started to slip a little bit, and then the individual that goes on to win the golf tournament hits an incredible shot after a ruling on 17 to about 2 inches. And now it's all tied going into 18. And the previous year, Diego was leading, had some adversity on 16 and 17 and came in second. And this has happened before. I'm not saying that that was in Diego's mind, but it's disappointing for Diego. He's had an opportunity the last 3 years to win this qualifier. He's qualified the last 2 previous years, but this year with only 1 spot coming into 18, tied for the lead, and to not get it done, yeah, that one's gonna hurt for a while.
Sometimes it's golf, it's a sport, it's how you like to overcome those moments. So, I mean, I have 2 more tournaments in El Campeón. I have the Optimist and Sunshine, so try and learn from the errors I made on this tournament and bring it back on those.
I think this event was an opportunity for Diego to shed some of that stress, to shed some of that worry of what's my college coach think, or am I playing good enough? He's had a little bit of this stretch where he hasn't performed to the standard that he wanted.
I do believe it. I mean, I put the work in. I really like grinding on the gym and off the gym and on the course, everywhere. So I feel that like one win should be coming.
I mean, Kaden qualified last year and he finished top 10 in the national championship. So there was no question that Kaden wanted to earn that opportunity to go back to Coshada, because he feels like there's a job still to do, which is go win a national championship.
So I played my first Nottingham regional qualifier at Michigan 2 years ago, and I was in 8th grade, and I was not very good, and I think I shot like maybe 4 or 5 over the first day, and I ended up getting paired up with Charlie Woods, and his dad was there, so we were all playing together. And I just remember being really nervous, and I was not good enough to like handle with all that pressure, and I played really bad. I finished like 12 over for the tournament.
The previous 2 years, when Kaden had played in this qualifier, there was a different story. Everyone wanted to talk about Charlie Woods, and Kaden stepped up and did great last year, taking down Charlie Woods. Yeah, well done.
I had a pretty bad start. I was 2 over through 4 and then made par on 4 and 5, on 5 and 6. So hole 7 is a tough hole because you have to hit an iron off the tee, and then you basically have another long iron into the green. That day I had a 7 iron into the green, and I hit a little push, and I had just like this normal chip, but not the greatest lie. And I didn't hit the chip how I wanted to. I wanted to land it like basically where the ball finished. So I still had like 11 feet left for par. And I was 2 over, wasn't playing great, but I wasn't really down or anything like that. But that putt, I did put like, I wanted to make it, and I was reading it extra carefully and doing everything I could that was in my control to make it. So I just read it and then tried to just put the best roll I could, and it ended up dropping, which was pretty nice. I was just talking to my mom, and we were just like, kind of like analyzing my round, just like some things I did good, some things I didn't do good, some things I want to change for tomorrow. And also just replying to like some messages. Some of my family was just saying like good round and stuff. So it was nice to hear, and I knew after like the 20 minutes before I got home, I saw that I had like the outright lead because everyone had finished. So it was nice to see that I had at least a 1-stroke cushion, but my expectation was still there, and I wasn't treating it like I already won or anything like that. It was still like pedal to the metal.
Yeah, I mean, I think he birdies the first, right? He makes a bogey in the middle of that front 9, then he birdies 10, bogeys 11, and it's this moment in the round where it's like, you know, Lucas is coming up and trying to beat him. And never on that back 9 did I see Kaden start to feel pressure. I think he just continued to focus on what he needed to do.
And 18 is a short par 4 with lots of water on the right, so you can't go right, and then left is OB, so you can't go left. And it's a driver if you're being really aggressive, and you can have like a flip wedge into the green. But he had gone first, and he pulled a 3-wood. So he kind of like took a more of like a layup approach, just like get one in the fairway and give himself a chance. So I pulled out a 2-iron, and I basically hit the same shot that he did, just put one in the fairway, make sure I can have a good look for the green.
Made a very good strategic decision, laid back to give himself a great distance, hits a wedge in there that, because of that wind, goes a little bit farther.
I had 110 into the green, and it was a little downwind, so I took a 60-degree, put it to like 20, 25 feet, not my best shot.
Yeah, I had just seen Diego have that all square on the final hole, trying to win. And then fast forward a couple hours, and here's Kaden.
So when he was putting, I was standing on the opposite side of the hole watching, and I could see his move just slightly left towards the end. So I was walking back, I was pacing off my putt, and I think I had, it would have been 7.5 to 8 paces. So it was around 20, 24 feet. And I was just looking at my putt again once more before I like placed down the ball and picked up the marker.
We're standing there, his mom, his dad, his coach, and me. And when I see him step up, Nate starts videoing.
So I took a couple practice strokes and then just stepped up to it and hit it. And as soon as I hit it, I knew it was a good putt. I wasn't sure if it was gonna like have a chance or anything, but I knew it was good speed.
I shifted that to be like, how cool is this going to be when we get this putt on video of Kaden just staying in his moment, not allowing the situation to consume him.
So I walked off the green, I grabbed my bag, and it was my mom, my dad, and then my coach, Nate and Zach, and they were all standing there. So I grab my bag and I walk over and I give my mom a hug, and then my dad is more like pumped up, so he like gives me like this huge high five and big hug. But yeah, those are the first two people that I went to after I walked off the green on 18, and it's just like, that's just one of those special moments. You have a good win, you play good, you did everything you were supposed to, and your parents are just there. They're always in support of you.
And you're headed back to the national championship back on Golf Channel, so congratulations. Yeah, great seeing you. We'll put the medal on you and make it official. Come on.
We gotta do one.
Get the job. I feel like you've grown. Yeah, I feel like you got some height on you now this year. Nice. Well, here you go. And then we'll get an interview with you out there. You got the mics and everything. So I know you've been there, so you can